It's good to see
Hi
everybody.
there.
Oh, hey, they got something new and announced that we're.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm driving today. That's the announcement.
I think you have to click continue to get that off the screen.
Yes.
Just a second, guys. Everybody's a smart mouth. All right. Rotary model.
Service
Service
of
of
ourselves.
So far, you're doing great. All right, now please stand. Put your hand over your heart. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to say it slowly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't believe I got every word in. Now, at this point, Sarah, we have a moment's silence. Okay, that's a good moment. Welcome, everyone. It's, as Chuck would say, it's Tuesday, the day after a lousy weekend, although Monday was pretty good. Does anybody have anything to say? Oh, okay. It's going to be like that. Well, then we'll start with a few announcements, but you can blurt anything out anytime you want. And let's just have a lot of fun. Reggie has blurted out, Reggie.
Each of us woke up each day and we were able to get out and
You're breaking up, Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie, forget it. You've got a bad connection. The one guy who decides to say something has a lousy connection. Our president nominee. Okay, well, look, Randy, why don't you just kick off and talk about the raffle and how it's coming and what your plans are.
Okay. Well, the raffle is going well. This week, you'll all be visited, if you haven't been visited already, by one of the three members who are collecting the ticket proceeds. So if you still have a few unsold tickets, get on it because we'd like to get them all collected by the end of this week. Things are going well. We had a good day down at Cherry Stone. I don't know whether it was in spite of the rain or because of the rain, but everyone had to show up under the pavilion that we were in. So that worked out to be a pretty good day. So we're in good shape. Right now, how well we actually wind up doing is going to depend on the members. So it's up to everybody, to get your at least 20 tickets sold. And while I'm discussing money, anyone that hasn't come forth with their fourth quarter dues payment, it would be a good idea to do that, get that taken care of, because it won't be long in the first quarter dues invoices will go out, and it's good to, kind of get things squared away before that happens. I hate to always just talk about money, but that's kind of the way it is. So we're in good shape for anyone that needs additional tickets. We have tickets. And even though we're collecting the proceeds this week, we can still get you additional tickets to be sold between now and the 4th of July. I think we're only going to do one more, public selling activity, which is going to be on the 4th of July. I don't think it's necessary for us to try to go down to Sunset Beach. We got away with one at Cherry Stone because the weather really helped us. I'm not sure how fruitful the other campground will be, but everybody is really pitching in. The advertising has done a great job because the sales at both the pharmacy and at Boy 56. They keep calling me, both of them, asking for more tickets. It's really kind of amazing the way it's going. So, all is well. It's kind of up to the membership now to get us to whatever top number we're going to get to. I don't want to make a prediction yet, but I think it's going to be very good.
Thank you, Randy. And thanks to Joan, she's giving us top billing now in happenings. We're right at the top there. So that's working. Jackie's told me to tell Al and Stan. And who's your other delivery person?
Mike.
Oh, Mike's not here. But Jackie says to Al and Stan, when you're picking up receipts and tickets, if someone wants some tickets, you help them out of that. Didn't you say that, Jackie?
I said, ask Al if he has extra tickets that Joan can have. She needs 6 tickets.
Yeah.
I have 4. I have 4 that I can give to Joan if you need them, Joan.
Plus, Al, you can take some out of whatever somebody else might have left over.
All right.
Try to keep track of it as you do that. Which tickets go where?
Okay.
Okay. Between Randy and Paul,
Yes.
we're all going to go nuts.
Well, they're going to be the 2 of us are going to go before any of you do. Believe me.
All right. Well, look,
All right.
we can't thank Randy enough. I mean, he's just super. So we know where our president nominee next is going to probably be. We have so much talent on the team now. And this is only half the team, Sarah. We've got about 38 members. We've grown through the COVID period. But when we get live again, there will be no stopping us. They'll say, oh, you guys are just as good as Oyster Point. Be thinking about service projects, of course. One of our service projects is the Kepta School and the Youth of the Year program. And this Friday, Paul Strong is going to present, because Murphy's not here, he's going to present the Youth of the Year plaque. And he's told me I can come along.
Well,
And
I thought you were going to do that.
You said you were going to be there, right?
Well, yeah, because you twisted my arm.
Well, we're going to build this as your play so that I can take a picture. So I'll do a better job than Stram said I did at American Legion. So that's where your money is going, folks, to help Kipta Peak with their closet and a number of other projects. So keep those things in mind. Since last week, has anybody else signed up to help Tammy with the raffle? Right now, I know Jackie is on board. What I didn't do last week was acknowledge that Medi, and we have to thank Medi, because Medi did it quietly. Medi said, look, you can have my B&B again with three nights, Medi. Yeah, 3 nights. To put the 3 fingers up. So Medi just kind of sneaks that in the chat room. But right there, we're over the top with that's a big items. So I figure a few more bottles of wine, a little chocolate, a few crackers. We've got a winner there, but Jackie and Tammy can certainly use some more help. So, keep in mind that they're doing that. This Friday, the 5th of June, the town is sponsoring the Chesapeake Bay Cleanup Project. And there's been a call out to the whole community to come to the Rosenwald School. The Rosenwald School is right near the water filtration plant, and they'll supply everything you need to help clean up that ground. When I drive by there, it doesn't look too messy, so it should be just an easy thing to do and meet your friends and neighbors. Jackie, you're looking over here like you want to say something.
No, Bill,
Oh, okay.
I just love you so much.
Oh, did you hear that's on record? It's recorded. Jackie loves me. So that'll be it with the service projects. So Paul, your COVID report should be kind of short today, I would think.
Yeah, and then I may just quit doing them after this week, except for very briefly, everything's still going well because everything continues to do well. The only location that I follow that went up a little bit is Virginia Beach, but it wasn't an alarming rate. It just bumped up a bit, and it's just a statistical anomaly, I think. Hopefully that'll correct itself next week and everything will continue to fall. We're down generally most places to levels that we haven't seen since early spring of last year, right after this thing started. So, and the vaccination rate is continuing to do better and better. Over half our population in Northampton County is fully vaccinated. So we're ahead of Virginia, and we're ahead of the national averages. So we're doing very well. We've had no new cases in Cape Charles in 3 straight weeks now, and no new cases in Northampton County for 2 weeks. Last week we thought there was 1, but they fixed it. Apparently that was somebody that really lived somewhere else that was just counted mistakenly because it had a -1 this week for Northampton County. So we're doing great.
Okay, any questions for Paul? That's great. Cape Charles is open, as you know. John Hosey reported last week. We should have a parade, and I'm really looking forward to the 4th of July, as is all of us. We've got some good news in that respect. Again, we anticipate our coming together in person following Labor Day at the coffee house. But on the way to that, we're going to have a Central Park meeting on the 17th. So get yourself geared up for that. That's August 17th. I'm sorry. Where we'll get used to seeing each other in person again. And then the following week, we're going to have our first in-person meeting with the 2 other clubs, because Debbie Wall, our district governor, is going to meet with us at the Eastern Shore Yacht and Country Club, where we've had our joint dinners in the past. So mark that date. That's August 24th, cocktails at 5, dinner at 6. And should be a lot of fun. In fact, we'll have to decide whether or not we want to hold off some of our Paul Harris presentations until then and let the district governor do it rather than in the park. We'll make a decision in August about that, but she's anxious to do that. So mark down August 17th and August 24th. We're getting together in person, 1 outside, 1 inside. And then we really start rocking and rolling again in post Labor Day Tuesday.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
go back to your Rosenwald School.
Yes.
You have to sign up for that. So
Yes.
you have to.
You have to.
You didn't put that out, so you have to sign up for that with Jen Lewis.
Yeah. Sorry, Bill.
Sorry.
Bill and I were talking at the same time. So Bill, say it again.
If you want to go to the Rosenwald School cleanup on this Saturday, you have to sign up with Jen Lewis at Cape Charles. She's the rec coordinator.
Can you do that online?
Yes, you can do it. You give her, just send her an email.
Okay.
Well, Bill,
Yes, Mehdi.
Also for the August 24 meeting, are we gonna have the meeting on the same time at lunch on that day?
No, no, no. That will be an evening meeting, 5 o'clock cocktails at the Eastern Shore Yacht and Country Club, dinner at 6. I think, Mehdi, do you remember the 3-person dinner we had with on John Burtis's watch? It was outside at the what's that place called, Ambrosia or?
Well, I don't remember that.
Okay, so you've never been to a 3-club meeting. I don't believe it. Bill Murphy. Okay, everybody, salute.
Yeah.
Hey, Murph.
Hey,
We're going to take some time out so you can greet us, but let me just finish up with Mehdi. So have you got that, Mehdi?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
5 o'clock, yeah.
I believe, Bill, they will send out a message requiring an RSVP, right?
Well, no,
Aren't the 3-club?
you're in charge of that, Chuck.
Okay, I mean, but we typically send out an email saying we need an RSVP if you're coming to that dinner. If I remember right, the last one I went at, I had to.
Yeah,
RSVP.
I guess, but that's why we have Murphy.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have to RSVP and pay for the number of.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, guys, don't get in the weeds. Don't get in the weeds. Just we'll start with marking down the date, and we'll get through July. And then as we enter August, we'll start getting serious about the 24th. But yeah, we have to do a count because, it's going to be, but Monica Bridgeforth is, running the yacht club now. So it should go pretty well. And we've got Chuck in charge then. So let me tell you, between Chuck and Paul and Randy, you're going to want to cut your throat.
So, are we going to meet on August 31st? Is that the plan?
August 31st? What's that? No. I
next
think
Tuesday.
I hadn't, I don't even know what I'll have for dinner tonight, Paul.
Just trying to figure out the schedule.
I would think that would be a Zoom meeting, but we won't confuse anybody today. But August 31st, we will meet, probably a Zoom meeting.
And on the 17th and the 24th, that will be at 5 o'clock.
No, I think that we'll have the Central Park meeting at 6, so the sun has gone down a little bit. But you all have to ask Chuck all these questions. Chuck,
Well, let me answer Mehdi's question from a few minutes ago. I think what she was asking was, on the 24th, are we still going to meet in a Zoom meeting at 12 noon? And the answer is no, we
And
wouldn't.
the 17th is the same, no Zoom meeting at noon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not
if
going to,
we have an evening meeting, we won't have a Zoom meeting.
right.
One meeting a day is about all most of us can stand. Okay, Murphy, give us 2 minutes of San Diego.
Well, I'm sitting out on the patio this morning. I'm a little bit late joining. I was getting a stove delivered this morning and they just left. It's nice. It's about 68 degrees out here right now. The high today is about 72, just like yesterday or the day before, and tomorrow and the next day. It's no humidity. I mean, climate wise, it's beautiful. It really is. I kind of miss home a little bit, though. I really do. But climate wise, this is the best place on earth, I think. So we're doing good. I got a happy dollar today, but last week I missed because I didn't realize. I did realize, but I forgot the time difference. So, I forgot what time it was. So, but things are going well. We've been here. We've been gone about a month now. We've got about a month to go, I think. So, it's all going well. So it's good to see everybody.
Well, you'd be happy here too, Bill, because the weather's almost exactly the same thing here It's been cool. I had my heat on last night. I was telling everybody.
Yeah, that's what my daughter's telling me. It's been kind
Yeah.
of cloudy and rainy and everything for a few days. And so I'm sure by the time I get back, it'll be typical summertime though.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, I sat up straight in my bed one night out of a nightmare. And I dreamed that you were not coming back. And I was afraid you and Mary Jo would get used to that weather. So cut it out and get back here as soon as you can.
I will. I got too many grandchildren back there not to.
Okay, that's great. Okay, a couple of quick ones. The Rotary International Convention is June 12th through 16th online. I encourage you to sign up for that. If you sign up, we'll reimburse your fee. But that's something that, as Stanley and Bill Stram would tell you, is just a super experience in person, and it should be very insightful online as well. Stanley pointed out last week that he had gone to RLI 2 the week before. So Stanley, congratulations on that. And I'll just brag a little bit. Our household, Jackie and I, did RLI 3 a week or so ago. So there's no 4, so we're done, Jackie.
Hey.
We're up to.
Graduate.
Well, I was signed up for that meeting and I don't know what happened. I never got the link. And I tried getting it that morning and I emailed Preston because he's the one who gave me the information. And he referred me to someone else and nobody ever got back to me. So I missed the whole thing.
Yeah, Maddie, I feel badly about that because I know you were trying to get in. And in fact, they screwed it up. So I hope you can sign up next time it's available. And Stan, I guess you'll be signing up for 3 before long.
Next time it's available, I'll be there.
All right, so
Classmates. Me and Stan will be classmates then.
there you go.
So I need to put a plug in here. For anybody that's going to be in a leadership role in Rotary, it's highly recommended that you attend at least the RLI 1. There's a lot of information that's put out in that, and the club will pay the registration, which is $95. So it's well worth it. So that's my plug. I have attended all 3 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I failed to mention that, Bill, and I apologize, but Bill is dead on, especially if you are going to be president or treasurer or secretary. You probably want to increase your knowledge of Rotary because Rotary is complex. If you're going to take on a leadership role. So Bill, thank you for that. And if Diane were here, I would be saying, Diane, what time is it? It's Happy Dollars. So I know you're happy, Alan, already, because your 5 grandchildren were here. It only costs you $1 to be happy, Alan. Alan, you're on mute.
Bill, can you drop the?
Yeah, I'm now unmuted. Yeah, I'm going to throw. I'm throwing in $5 on that one. But there aren't 5 grandchildren. There were 2 great grandchildren. There was let's see, 1, 2. There was grandson, his wife, and then there was odds and ends of people. We had people coming and going all the time. But it was a good time. We had a good time.
Bill Murphy kind of pitched in too earlier. You want to add to that, Bill?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I have a happy dollar because I remembered the 3-hour time difference this week.
Okay, everybody's volunteering people up. I'm gonna volunteer Jackie up.
You don't have to volunteer me.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Okay, I have a happy dollar for my son. Today is his birthday, and he is in Brooklyn, New York, working on 2 episodes of something for some show. And Bill and I are going to drive up next weekend and spend some time with him and his wife. We haven't seen each other, in over a year, just like everybody else.
Stand up a little bit, Jackie, so they can see your director's shirt.
Oh, yes, this is a T-shirt from his.
Nice.
All right, thank you, Jackie. How much did you, $1?
50 cents.
You can't do 50 cents.
Come on, you're taking my thunder there, Jack. Watch it.
Mehdi, I think you had your hand up.
Seriously,
Right.
how much
I have a happy dollar because I have finally gotten together the entire family for a reunion here on June 7 to 21. And there's like 14 people who are going to come, and we are going to have a reunion. All the 8 siblings are able to come, so I'm happy. And then my granddaughter finally decided that she could come too. So that's a wonderful time for all of us to be together. We have not seen each other for over a year.
Wow, Mehdi, that's great. Bill Stram has some happy money.
I have 2 happy dollars. $1 is for the successful American Legion golf tournament. We had 96 players. That's the largest fundraiser for the American Legion post in Sheridan. So that was a very good success. And then the second happy dollar is for a very successful Memorial Day ceremony yesterday at the War Monument in Cape Charles. There was probably about between 50 and 70 people there. So very good ceremony.
Thank you, Bill. Regina.
Yeah, I have $5. I am so happy that we finally got our global grant with the Accra Laban. And thank you so much. You did a wonderful job. Thank you.
And Regina, I'm going, just while we're at it, so you're not surprised. I would like you to introduce Sarah when it's time for Sarah to join the program. Randy, did I see your hand up there?
Yeah, I have one happy dollar because I was able to get Wayne Bell's trailer back to him. We used it to haul the golf cart around without any destructive damage by a specific individual who drove the golf cart on and off of the trailer. So
I don't know who you're talking about.
I have no idea.
Thank
Randy.
God Mike was there to get it back on at the grounds, because the ground was wet, and oh God, Mike is a pro. If you ever need a chauffeur for a golf cart, Mike is your person.
Randy.
And we have to call out a special thanks. Mike isn't here today, but Mike really made it possible for us to have a very successful Saturday. How much? Nearly $1,000, right, Randy?
Saturday, I think, was about 780.
780.
And Randy.
Yeah.
Randy, did you get those receipts from Wayne?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Thank you.
We're covered.
All right.
Okay, Reggie, you had your hand up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, great. Yes, we got to spend the day with our great-grandsons, 3 and 7 years old. For the first time in over a year. We were down in North Carolina for a day, and with their parents. So that was awesome. We have $5 happy dollars for that. By the way, Bill Stram, you would really appreciate, I'll show you the picture of this 7-year-old has his own golf bag with his golf clubs. I'll show you the picture, man. You're a golfer, you'll love it.
That's great, Reggie. Thanks a lot. Are there any other happy dollars? Oh, Mary.
I have 3 happy dollars. My first happy dollar is I got all my to-do lists done almost, registered to vote, update my social security, apply for my US passport. So that's taken care of. And then actually I bumped it to John Budis and Tom Godwin at the Cape Charles Post Office while I was applying for my US passport. So I was very excited to see them in person. My second happy dollar is I want to volunteer myself to help with the raffle basket with Tammy and Jackie. So just anytime give me a call or send me a message how I can be of help. My third happy dollar is we had our first vacation time since I guess like March last year. So we drove to North Carolina and spent a good time with family in North Carolina. Yeah.
That's great, Mary. Tammy, I see you have an electronic hand up.
Yes, I'd like to give a happy dollar that it rained this weekend. I love the rain and it's good for the farmers and my flowers because I planted a cut flower garden and it's nice that we got some rain. So $1 for rain for the bees.
Good for you, Tammy. And it looks like you've got a nice team. I don't think you can handle any more than Mary and Jackie. They are a handful.
Okay. We're gonna meet at the coffee shop sometime just to talk and explore our options to really do a good job.
Okay, great. I know you're gonna come through for us. I
Hey,
saw Joan, you had your hand up.
I did. 5 happy dollars. One, to celebrate the rain that we so badly needed and finally got. Now I don't have to water my plants every other day. And also, I just wanted to report that I donated the 9 cell phones with their chargers to the Eastern Shore Coalition Against Domestic Violence last Wednesday, and also gave them 2 checks each for $100. So that's done on behalf of the Rotary Club.
That's great, Joan. Good job on that one. While we're on the domestic violence, I just want to acknowledge that Chuck and John Calder and I went up there to work on the playground last week. And we'll probably have to go back up again just to finish it off. But Chuck, thanks a lot for driving. Did you have your hand up, Chuck, for happy dollar?
Just real quick, I missed Jackie's happy dollars. Was it $5 or $1?
Make me give more. It was $1.
Okay, that's why I wanted to ask.
Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap it up with 5 happy dollars because I'm delighted about going to the Big Apple. I won't be there long enough to do all the things I'd like to do, but I'm just looking forward to that pleasant ride up to New York with Jackie. I figure that's good for 3 fights.
Yeah, at least.
Okay. Gina, will you do the honors and introduce Sarah to, and Sarah, whatever she doesn't say about you, you fill in.
Oh, she has a lot to say. Sarah Seville did a remarkable job of collaborating with some of our Rotary clubs for the provision of 9 borehead water pumps in Accra, Laban, Ghana. She had to submit the whole application. She did that. We are contributing $500 towards, I think it cost a little over $47,000 for the provision of the pumps. So she has a lot to say about it. It's a wonderful humanitarian project that has been in the works for the past decade.
Thank you, Regina.
Get away.
All right, so I'll get my screen share going. And again, I'm with the Rotary Club of Oyster Point. I'm a past president. I'm currently serving with Bill as an area governor, but I think being our international chair has been by far my most favorite role that I've done in Rotary. And earlier this year, in January, we met via Zoom with the Accra Labone Club, which I finally 6 months later can say correctly, about this project. And I want to give you a little bit of an idea about who they are, because when you're working with a club you've never met in person, halfway across the world, and saying, hey, we're going to give you 40 grand, go do something amazing with it, there's always a little bit of a trust and relationship building aspect to these global grants. This is what I would consider a younger club, 20 years old this month. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary. 36 members, which half female, which to me stands out as just really getting a good intersection of their community. Down here in the red is the map of Ghana, and Accra is on that bottom coastline. So they're a coastal community, much like both of where we live. And if you want to know what's going on in a community, I think looking at the projects they do and what Rotary is doing in an area really tells you the need. So this is a list of the projects that they do on an annual basis. I won't read them out, but you can see they have a history of building these mechanized borehole wells in their communities. And the last time they decided they wanted to make a bigger impact. So they approached Shell Douglas, who's that photo off to on my screen, it's the left, who is on our district foundation committee about it. And when she visited Ghana the last time, and she goes almost annually with various global grants, her driver, who's designated from the Accra region to drive her around, was Emmanuel Mensah, who's the incoming president of the Accra Labone Club. And he said, you know, this is something we do, but we want to do even more of it, make a bigger impact. So in January, again, Shell introduced Emmanuel and I via Zoom, and it was just a perfect fit. We live in very similar areas. We own coastal communities about the same size. Our club had set aside over the years, we contribute money to a global grant fund. So this was within our budget and what we thought we could accomplish in a relatively short time period. And so we really hit the ground running from day one. And again, the project itself is fairly simple. We're building 9 mechanized boreholes, which are to provide better, safer water in these communities that are in need. And take a moment to think about the water in your life. In the last 24 hours, I've used water from 9 different faucets in 3 different buildings, and I never once questioned if the water would be there. I never once questioned if the water was safe to drink, if I could use it to wash my hands during a pandemic, if I could use it to bathe and brush my teeth. And you know, those 9 faucets don't even include using the washer machine or the dishwasher. Water is in our life all the time, and we frequently take that for granted, but it's not in this area of Ghana. So much so that their Rotary district, which District 9102 covers the entire country of Ghana, has a committee that just all they do is identify communities in need of better water sources, and they keep a list. So when a club says, hey, we want to build a well, we want to help, there's a list and ranked in kind of order of need and depending on what the type of project is. And Tammy, I'm not sure if your hand is raised for a question now or if that's left over from Happy Dollars, but I'll gladly answer questions as we go. And so one of the first things they did, the Accra Labone Club did, was meet with the community leaders. And this is sort of a picture of who they're working with. So you can kind of see pictures are much more interesting than me babbling on. But these are some of the community leaders where we'll be building at least one of the wells. And this is some photos of the water that they're using. So if you think about the water in your life, it probably wasn't something you gathered from a puddle. The picture to the right is a broken hand pump. They used to have a hand pump there, it doesn't work right, and it's difficult for them to use now. And so one of the options we explored was, should we just fix the broken hand pumps instead of replacing them with a new structure? But given how frequently they break, we decided not to go that way. So these are some of the communities where we're going to be working to update their water sources. And again, same thing, we opted not to do the hand pumps because of how quickly they break. So this was our total budget for the project. The wells, it's about $5,200 US for a well. The prices fluctuate depending on where they are and the geology of those specific communities. So our estimate was based on those very specific communities. And of course that translates to the Ghana SETI is that second number there. And where we got our source of funds. So total from the various districts, 7,600 clubs was 11,625. Accra Lebone came with $1,000 from the table. That doesn't get matched. But because of all the various matching, your club's $500 is going to turn into $2,000, which is about half a well. And then we're required to throw in some bake fees. So that's what that $70 comes out to show the wiring back and forth between countries. And these are all the different Rotary clubs that are contributing to the project. When I first talked to Regina and Bill Payne, they were on board from the beginning. And I'll put in a plug for RLI. Not only is it great for leadership training if you're interested in a leadership role, but it's a really fantastic way to just get to meet other Rotarians across the district. So even if you're not interested in leadership, I'd encourage you to do that just to be more involved and get to know some other people, especially if you want to work on projects across and outside your club or your area. And so this right here is the greater Accra Lebone region. The communities where we're building the wells, there's about 9,000 people who are going to benefit from this project across that region. And this is a well they did recently, if you want to see the before and after and what these structures look like. And I can't imagine, I'm not in construction, but I have to believe that that was built in the US, that'd be more than a $5,000 structure. So the bang for our buck we're getting with this project, using their local materials, their local contractors, and the impact it's making is absolutely phenomenal. And you can see that those are very much intended to be permanent structures. That's not going to break after 6 months. The contractor we selected after getting bids has a 12-month warranty where they'll come in and make any repairs as needed for the first 12 months. And then after that, the local communities will take charge of maintaining it. And training them is one of the things we'll be doing as far as this grant as well, to make sure they know how to do that maintenance over time as needed. And then this is again another picture of a well they did recently. And so again, the training, we're not just going to train them on how to maintain the wells, but basic hygiene and sanitation and food safety. We will be doing training programs in the local schools with the local community members, teaching the teachers how do you teach how to wash your hands. Things we take for granted. Once they have these clean, safe water sources, what do you do with it? Are they going to know how to wash food and store food properly that has been washed, and all of the sanitation that comes along with it? And some more photos. Again, you can see the school children who are benefiting from those trainings. Do you have any questions? I can keep talking about it, or I can answer questions at this time. But I really want to thank you all for your support. You were one of the first clubs to volunteer to help us, and that went a long way.
Do you still have a question?
Uh-huh.
Sarah, I have a question. Was the contractor relatively local?
Yes, they had worked with a number of contractors before. And so this is somebody out of the greater Accra region that we'll be working with. And all the supplies will be local. We're not having to ship anything overseas. It'll all be done there.
Thank you.
And as
Sarah, I have a general question, if I may. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yes. Do you have any idea of how much of the total need for water in the area your project is satisfying?
Yeah, so the last estimate I saw, sort of end of 2020, was in Ghana as a whole, there were 3 million people without access to clean potable water. So we are nowhere near solving a 3 million person problem, but we are absolutely taking on a big chunk of kind of this area. And there will still be opportunities for more wells, and there will still be need in other communities. But it is a huge problem in the area that we're, so for the 9,000 people we're serving, it is, life-changing for them. It is a dent in Ghana's water problem.
That would be about 3%.
So if there is a community that needs this type of assistance, would it be beneficial for them to contact you or someone to see if they could perhaps get some of these types of services as well?
Yeah, I think our club wants to keep doing this type of project. We have a great relationship there between our district and their district. Michelle Douglas is another great contact who is constantly kind of matchmaking clubs here and there for projects. So absolutely.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Hi, I wonder what does the local government or the Ghana government feel about this kind of projects? Do you have any cooperation with them?
Absolutely. So when they met with the community leaders as part of the project, we're working, the Accra Club is working very closely with them. They'll be involved in the trainings, and they'll be in part of the maintaining it over time. So what they will do is they'll work out a billing system, which will likely be a flat fee per month for everybody in the community, maintain a separate bank account for that so that they can have the funding for maintenance over time. One of the other structures that some communities do is they charge kind of per bucket use, but that's a little harder to keep track of how many buckets people have taken away.
Is there like a public health system or a public education campaign?
The infrastructure is not developed equivalently as it is here. So they get schools when people build schools. They get wells when outside groups or Rotary and similar organizations come in and build wells. So the infrastructure there for public works is lacking, but each local community is going to take ownership over the wells to maintain it and fund it.
Sarah, I have a quick question for you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. If another club wanted to do this exact same project for another part of the region, I think you touched on that a minute ago, but would that be considered like a repeat type of grant, or would that be something that would be doable if we just wanted to meet the same need with the same structure in a different area?
Absolutely. So one of the differences between a global grant and a district grant is that they aren't concerned about spreading the wealth, so to speak. So as I'm sure you're familiar with a district grant, if we did a project with Habitat for Humanity, we couldn't circle back to them for some time. We would next have to do YMCA, Boys Club. You can't do repeat projects. With global grants, they will bless repeat projects all day long. that- So that would not be an issue. And of course, my contacts are more limited. Michelle Douglas has great contacts with Ghana. We shadowed her as a club. We shadowed her for 2 projects, 2 years in a row before she kind of matched made us. And so, you know, if Regina or somebody else in the club wants to stay in touch with what we're doing, be on a Zoom meeting, see our files, you know, we're happy to share and have people shadow us so that they can run with projects in the future.
Any other questions for Sarah? Well, Sarah, we'd like to thank you for sharing some time this afternoon, and thank you for your leadership in this project and others, I'm sure. Regina, thank you for bringing Sarah to us and working with Sarah and your leadership as you help our club understand how we can expand beyond our immediate area. And we look to continue that. So thank you again for that. So is there anything, we have a couple of minutes, anything anybody would like to share for the good of Rotary or otherwise? Okay, that being the case.
Well, I'd like to say.
Yeah, Stanley, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right, no problem. But this is club-wise anyway. Anybody who has tickets that they want to return to me or that you want to get rid of, let me know. Everybody that I supplied, please get in touch with me because I'm coming out and I want to collect up before the end of the week, if that's possible. Thanks.
And I'm sure Al would echo that. So
Yeah, same here. Same here. I'll be reaching out to everybody on my list this week, and I'll be happy to make arrangements to come and collect, or you can drop off.
All righty. Yes, Randy.
Sarah, I have another question. The benefits of these wells is just obvious. But is there any data to measure the long-term impact on a community that gets the well versus when they didn't have the well in terms of the overall health benefit?
Yeah, so it'll vary a little bit community to community, but one of the things that we'll track is when children are absent from school for illness related to waterborne diseases, they'll be able to track that over time. And part of the training will be asking them to track that so that we have that data going forward. And so that kind of looks at this, you know, children are little magnets for diseases. But we can track children pretty easily by attendance in school for those reasons when they call out sick. We may be able to work with the hospitals to the extent there are hospitals to see if there's a decrease in people being sick for these areas. And so that's one of the 2 big ways to track it.
Thank you. Sarah, what kind of diseases are the other people contending with there?
That is quite a number. So there are various kind of, and I don't want to misstate this too much, and I don't know the extent to which they can track the specific diseases as well as the symptoms. I think diarrhea is one of the main symptoms they see from waterborne illnesses. I don't know the answer to if somebody's sick with the various symptoms, if they're able to say, oh, that's typhoid fever versus cholera, hepatitis, things of that nature. I don't know, because these communities are very rural. I don't know that they're able to diagnose it at that level, depending on the medical care that they're receiving. But those are kind of a general overview of the pathogens in the area.
Paul, is that something you or Mark would like to weigh in on, just from a medical perspective generally? Paul, we think you know everything.
Don't have any local knowledge about Ghana and waterborne diseases there.
Okay, well, that, we'll have to do further
Yeah.
research, Regina.
I
But-
just have a small question.
Yes, Medi.
Sarah, is there a local NGO that you work with who has kind of an ongoing relationship with the community?
Yeah, the Rotary district there is very established, especially at doing this kind of work. So I know as far as the training manuals, some of those are put together with the UN or the World Health Organization. And they're kind of, we didn't have to reinvent the wheel on that. We were able to say, hey, these are the training programs that kind of go along with building a well that have been established for 10 years. So they're involved in kind of putting those training manuals together and updating
So
them.
the local Rotary itself is the
Right,
one.
but as far as the hands-on, keeping that relationship with the schools or the community leaders and the local governments and building the wells and arranging that, Rotary is pretty self-governing in that extent. I don't know if the district there is working with other NGOs. With this grant, we're not bringing in another organization though.
Okay. Well, again, Sarah, thank you so much. And we find ourselves at the top of the hour, which means that with regard to what we think, say, and do, 1, is it the truth? 2, is it fair to all concerned? 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Stanley?
We shall have fun.
All right, look, see you next week, folks.
Adios.
The Reverend Stan.
Regina, Jackie wants to talk with you.
Okay. Can you call me, please?
Sure.
Telephone number?
Bill Payne, I'll be in touch with you in a few minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll open the garage door.
Okay.
0137.
Can you repeat that, please?
331-0137.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye,
Sarah.
everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah.